Okay, so today I'll talk about string and then a list. Okay, first I'm going to talk about string and then list, and then I'll go back to string. So this is like a part 1, and then this is part 2 of the string. Okay, let's see. Okay, first string. The string you can think as what? String is basically what? An array of the characters. Okay, so example is, let's say you have a variable s. Let's say it's equal to, let's say, hi there, and exclamations, and then double quote. So let's say you have a string, and see, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so 9 characters, right? So I can say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So hi, and then there's a space, THERE, and then exclamation. So if there's a string, there's always index associated with this string. So index is what? Is start with a 0, and then 1, and then 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay. And then it also you can use a negative index. So when you use a negative index, it's always start with the right side. So this could be -1, okay, and then it's a -2, oops, -3, -4, -5, -6, 7, 8, and then this is what? -8. So when you try to print this, let's say print, let's say S0, right, is going to print what? H, right? This is 0, and then it's going to print H. But at the same time, we can use a negative index to print H. So you can say print S, and index is -8. And this will also print H. Okay? And then, what about the length? You can use a function called length, len, to find the size of this array, this string. So size should be what? 0 to 8, so it should return 9. This functions take s string as an input and returns the number which is the size of this string. So in this case it's 9. And what else? Oh, and another thing is, let's say slicing of this string. So for the slicing, we use what? Typically we use square bracket. Okay, and then you use colon. So for the left side, you should read it's called start index. Okay, and then on right side you put called past index. And then you put the name of the string. Let's say in this example I use S, right? So you can put the name of the string S. So this means what? This means a substring of S, which starting from start index, really start indexed to where? To past index -1. This is very important. -1. So the example is, let's say I want to print from 1, let's say from 1 to, let's say, 4. I want that substring from 1 to 4. Then you have to say S, and your start index is 1, right? So from 1 colon and your past index is you should use a 5, because if you want to print up to 4 up to h, then your past index is +1. So basically from 1 to 5, right? So this means it'll print I, and then it'll print space, and then print T. So this is like 1 all the way to what? 4. So, and then H. So basically it's going to print this substring. Um, okay, so let's just use a Python. Let's use a Python to do some experiment. Go to Python. Where's Python? Okay, so this is idle, and then file, new file. So let's just write some simple program. The first, I'll say S is equal to what? Hi there, exclamations, right? And let's just print, let's say what? Let's say print first index, the first character H. And this is what? This is the same as S minus 8, right? And then I'll say print just for the okay. And then next one is, let's just use this time let's use a slicing. So let's say print S 1 all the way to what? 5, right? The 5 is a past index. Let's just first print this. Let's see the result. On Python, we're gonna save. Okay. So the name of this file name is, by the way, the Python 34 is my default Python directory. So let's say my file name is, let's see what, string test1.python. So h, oops, oh, should be -9, sorry. There's a h, should be, oh, you know what, actually I made a mistake, because it should be -9. Why? Because I made a mistake here. So let's see. Hi, right? There, an exclamation. So that means what? From 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? But when you use a negative number, it should starting from -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -6, -7, -8, -9. Right? So if, I made a mistake, should be 9. So starting from -1, -2, -3, -4, 5, all the way to -9. So I have to say -9 instead of 8, I have to say 9 to get the same result. So anyway, so by the way, you can use a for loop for this to print all the characters in this string. You can use a for loop. So let's say let's say index is a 0, and then for index in actually for loop you don't have to really initialize index. So I'll say for index is a variable name. You can use any name. You can say I. In range, this time I used the function range. The length is what? Length of this string. So this length of the string is, in this case, is what? Is 9, right? So this is like the same as using range 9, right? But this is much better. So you can using a function length. Anyway, so the print index, right? S and index. So this is the so use a for loop to print all the characters in the string, right? And by the way, you can use a while loop. Okay, you can use a while loop. So while loop, you need to initialize value index, right? So index, by the way, let's use a while loop, equivalent while loop. So print so let's use a equivalent while loop. For while loop, I'll say for so you have to first initialize the index variable. Let's say this time let's use I. So I means index. This is variable name, so you can use any variable name you want. And then while I, which is index, is less than less than the length of the string, right? And then what? So you have to print, and then colon, oops, and then colon. Then you have to print I, and then S string name of the string, and then you have to say in, right? And the next one is what? You have to increment I. Otherwise, if you don't have this, increment statement, so you have to increment this I one at a time. But if you do not have this loop without this, you're going to have an infinite loop. Okay. So I is I. So you increment I by 1. Okay. So this is like equivalent while loop. So let's just save this and run module. Yes. So this is like a first. Oops, sorry. This is a result return used by the first. The first loop, right, which is a for loop, and the same result, right? And then you use the while loop. Okay.